Hey lovely crocheters, get ready to swoon over this Valentine's Day special. A chic white crop top with a red heart right in the center. The straps, they are a string of adorable red hearts too. And guess what? I've left loops on the back for some customizable flair. So grab your hooks because we are about to crochet our way into a love-filled fashion frenzy. For this tutorial, you'll need medium weight yarn, dunny needle, 3.75 mm crochet hook, and scissors. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy chic crochet tutorials. Let's start crocheting the body of the top with this rectangle. I'll demonstrate using a smaller rectangle in yellow for better visibility. Although I made the top in white, we'll use yellow yarn for easier tutorial viewing. I'll show you how to customize it to your size, keeping in mind that the technique with yellow yarn is the same as with white, just the size differs. To start, we're going to create a slip knot, so grab your yarn and wrap the yarn around your finger twice. Then pass the first loop over the second loop. Next, pass the second loop over the loop that was originally the first one. A knot will form below. Pull all yarn ends to tighten it. After that, grab your crochet hook and insert it into the slip knot. Then you're going to pull the short tail of yarn to tighten it and ensure a snug fit. We are going to make a foundation chain, so you're going to yarn over, that is, bring the yarn from the back to the front of your crochet hook, and then pull the yarn through the slip knot, and that forms our first chain. Once again, yarn over, bring the yarn from the back to the front of the crochet hook and pull it through the loop. That forms our second chain. Once more, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop. I'll demonstrate by making a foundation chain of 11 stitches. However, be sure to create a foundation chain that fits your size. Create a foundation chain that wraps around the widest area of your chest, but leave a space of approximately 8 inches. You're going to skip the first and the second chain. Rotate your chain so you can work from the back, and that will ensure that the V-loops are positioned at the bottom. After you've yarned over once, we're going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet in the third chain. Insert your crochet hook in the third chain and pull the yarn through the chain. That will leave us with 3 loops on our crochet hook. You're going to pull the first loop through the second loop like you're making a slip stitch. That will leave us with 2 loops on our crochet hook. Yarn over once again and pull through the first loop only. That leaves 2 loops on our crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. In the second chain, I'm going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over once and insert my crochet hook in the second chain. So yarn over once and insert your crochet hook in the second chain. Pull the yarn through the chain. Wow. That leaves 3 loops on your crochet hook. Pull the first loop through the second loop like you're making a slip stitch. That leaves 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over once more and pull through the first loop only. You'll have 2 loops left. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. In the next chain, we are going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet. So you're going to yarn over once and insert your crochet hook in the next stitch. Pull the yarn through the stitch That will leave us with 3 loops on our crochet hook. Pull the first loop through the second loop like you're making a slip stitch. That leaves 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through the first loop only. That leaves 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Make 1 herringbone double crochet in every chain. To begin the next row, chain 2 and turn your work. The chains that you've made, these 2 chains count as your first stitch. So it counts as your first stitch. You're going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet in the second stitch. Yarn over once, insert your crochet hook in the second stitch, pull the yarn through the stitch, leaving 3 loops, pull the first loop through the second loop, leaving 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the first loop only, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. In the next stitch, prepare for a herringbone double crochet. Make 1 herringbone double crochet in every stitch and I'll catch up with you here. On top of our first stitch, remember it was the 2 chains that we made, which was our first stitch. We're going to prepare for our last herringbone double crochet on top of the second chain of the first stitch. To begin the next row, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. The chain 2 counts as our first stitch. So you're going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet in the second stitch. So in the second stitch, prepare for a herringbone double crochet. In the next stitch, prepare for a herringbone double crochet. Continue making 1 herringbone double crochet in every stitch and I'll catch up with you here. I'm at the end of the row and I'm going to prepare for my last herringbone double crochet on top of the chain 2. Continue working in this pattern until you reach your desired length. For reference, my finished length was 9.1 inches. Now we are going to make these loops for where the back straps will go into. I've already done one side, however, it will be identical to the other side. Make a slip knot and insert your crochet hook in the project, then chain 1. In the first space, we're going to prepare for a single crochet. So insert your crochet hook in the first space and make a single crochet. You can use a stitch marker so that you know which the first stitch is. In the same space, put another single crochet. In the next space, you're going to make 1 single crochet, not 2. In the next space, make 1 single crochet. In the next space, make 2 single crochets, just like that. And then in the next one, make 1 single crochet. So the pattern is 2 single crochets in one space and 1 single crochet in the next space. Continue with this pattern until the end of the row and I'll meet you here. I'm at the end of the row and to begin the next row, we are going to chain 2, turn our work, Remember, the chain 2 counts as our first stitch. So we're going to prepare for a herringbone double crochet in the second stitch. So leave the first stitch and go into the second stitch and prepare for a herringbone double crochet. Continue with the pattern, 1 herringbone double crochet in every stitch until the end of this row, and I'll meet you here. Continue making the previous row as many times as you'd like, keeping in consideration the length around your chest. I added 2 more rows. To begin the next row, chain 2 and turn your work. The chain 2, this time the chain 2 doesn't count as our first stitch. We're going to prepare for a double crochet in the first stitch. So the chain 2 doesn't count as our first stitch. Prepare for a double crochet, a standard double crochet in the first stitch. Then we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, skip 2 stitches and prepare for a double crochet in the third stitch. So skip 2 stitches and prepare for a double crochet in the third stitch. Continue with this pattern until the end of this row, and I'll catch up with you here. I'm at the end of the row, chain 1 and turn your work. The chain 1 doesn't count as the first stitch, so prepare for a single crochet in the first stitch on top of the double crochet from the previous row. Then in the space, put 2 single crochets. That's my second single crochet. On top of the double crochet from the previous row, put a single crochet. Then in this space, you're going to put 2 single crochets. Repeat the pattern until the end of the row, and I'll catch up with you here. I'm at the end of the row and I have 1 stitch left. I'm putting my last single crochet, chain 1 and cut off your yarn. We are now going to be focusing on the straps. I've already done one side and I'm going to show you how to make the strap on the other side. Insert your crochet hook where you placed your stitch marker and make sure you're working on the right side. Make a knot. Chain 6. In the 4th chain from the hook, prepare for a treble crochet. Yarn over twice and you're going to insert your crochet hook in the 4th chain from the hook. Pull the yarn through the chain and that leaves you with 4 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. In the same chain, add 3 more treble crochets. In the next chain, you're going to prepare for a double crochet. In the same chain, add another double crochet, so you'll have 2. In the next chain, prepare for a single crochet, 2 single crochets in the last chain. Following, you're going to chain 1 and make a slip stitch. We are like done with the first half of the heart. Make 2 single crochets in same space as the 2 single crochets in other side. Make 2 double crochets in the same space as the 2 double crochets in the other side. Make 4 treble crochets in the same space as the 4 treble crochets in the other side. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same space. And we have our first cute little heart. Following, chain 7, not 6 this time round, and henceforth chain 7. Prepare for a treble crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Yarn over twice and insert your crochet hook in the 4th chain from the hook. In the same chain, add 3 more treble crochets. Make 2 double crochets in the next chain. In the next chain, make 2 single crochets. Chain 1 and make a slip stitch. Make 2 single crochets in same space of 2 single crochets in other side. Make 2 double crochets in same space of 2 double crochets in other side. Make 4 treble crochets in same space of 4 treble crochets in other side. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same space. Chain 7. Prepare for a treble crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. In the same chain, add 3 more treble crochets. Make 2 double crochets in the next chain. Make 2 single crochets in the next chain. Chain 1. Make a slip stitch. Make 2 single crochets in same space of 2 single crochets in the other side. Make 2 double crochets in same space of 2 double crochets in other side. Create 4 treble crochets in same space of 4 treble crochets in other side. Chain 2 and make a slip stitch in the same space. Continue making these little hearts until you have your desired length. I made 12 little hearts. To attach, don't complete your last heart. After you've chained 2 and you're going to make a slip stitch, make that slip stitch in the space of the heart and also where you put your stitch marker at the back of the top. Then in the next chain of the top, make a single crochet. Then you can chain 1 and cut off your yarn. We are now going to be crafting this center heart. To begin, make a slip knot, chain 4, prepare for a slip stitch in the first chain, chain 3, craft 3 treble crochets in the circle, following, create 4 double crochets in the circle, next make 1 treble crochet, craft 4 double crochets, subsequently make 3 treble crochets, next chain 3, to end this round slip stitch in the circle. To begin round 2, make 2 single crochets around the chain 3. Craft 3 double crochets in the first stitch, that is in the first treble crochet from the previous round. Following, make 3 double crochets in the second stitch, that is in the second treble crochet from the previous round. Subsequently, create 3 double crochets in the third stitch, that is in the third treble crochet from the previous round. In the next 4 stitches, make 1 double crochet in each stitch. In the next stitch, make 1 double crochet and then make 1 treble crochet in the same stitch, and finally in the same stitch make 1 double crochet. It's like we've made half the heart. So what we've done on this side, we're going to repeat on the other side. In the next 4 stitches, make 1 double crochet in each stitch. Following, craft 3 double crochets in the first stitch, that is in the first treble crochet on this side. Next, craft 3 double crochets in the second stitch, that is in the second treble crochet on this side. Following, make 3 double crochets in the last treble crochet on this side. Craft 2 single crochets around the chain 3 from the previous row. Next, you're going to slip stitch in the first stitch that we made in this round. Then you're going to chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Cut off your yarn a bit long, but not as long as I cut off mine here. It was too long, just enough, because you're going to use that tail to attach it to our top. Before I attach, I'm going to weave in this extra yarn over here. To attach the heart, I first identified the center of my top. I just folded my top in half and then I put a stitch marker so that I can know where the center is. Then I placed my heart and I really just freestyled it. I was passing my needle through both the heart and the top from above and below, just like as you can see I'm doing in the video, and I did that all around the edges. Just make sure you're doing that close to each other, and if you do that, it's going to, the heart will be attached perfectly to your top. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like and subscribe to let me know you want more videos like this one, and follow me on social media at Not Kisses.